So about 2 months back on this channel, I made this Season 13 bingo video in which basically we have this bingo board that someone in the community made, and we listed out our predictions for the season, and here we are 2 months later. The season has ended about 2 weeks ago, so we're actually going to revisit our bingo and see which predictions we got right. So for the predictions that I jotted down with a red dash, and if they were correct, I'm going to basically draw a green check like this, and we'll see if our bingos actually held up at the end. First of all, the Skull Sorcerer is an end goal villain. I now know what an end goal villain is, and the Skull Sorcerer is not. He appeared pretty early on. Princess Vadia is Cole's love interest. Not really. I mean, the season doesn't seem to really lean towards that. Certainly not like the Loikita kiss we got from Season 11. Garmina didn't return. No filler episodes, surprisingly. But there was a reference to the Legacy Bounty. I did not check that off. The chapter only has 60 episodes. Yep, I was right about that. No cliffhanger. Actually, there is a cliffhanger, the vegetable buyer, so I unfortunately can't give that one a check. Nothing for Private Pyre Batters. This is a bit of a debatable one. The premiere episode does have references to Private Pyre, both the video game and through Wu's story, but it's not like any of that stuff really matters to the story, so I'm going to give this one a check, but you may disagree with it. Skull Sorcerer gets more time than Skull Dragon gets more time than the Sorcerer. No, Skull Dragon comes around pretty late, actually. And Ray and Maya were nowhere to be seen in this season. Green Skull plays a huge role with defeating the villains. Certainly it did. The ninja with golden armor are the focuses. Well, here's another debatable one. I mean, Cole is definitely the focus, and Kai has a pretty big role. As for the silver armor ninja, Jay and Lloyd both have the smallest roles, and Nia has a bigger role too. So, I don't know. I mean, it certainly seems like the ninja with the golden armor are more focuses. So, again, this might be kind of debatable, but I'm going to check it off. Free space is free space. There will be a board game parody episode. No board game parody. Season airs in another language first. Yes, Chinese. Won't come out before August. Actually, it did come out before August, and I didn't check that off, so yeah. Spijitzu Burst means nothing in the show, just a gimmick for the set. No, Spijitzu Burst is in the show. It actually is it does have a pretty big role. Klaus was sadly not the Skull Sorcerer, and I think the Sorcerer has an effect on his voice. Pretty sure, not entirely sure. Season has nothing to do with Cole's Bob. Boy, were we wrong about that one. Or boy, was I wrong about that one, I should say. Awakened Warriors don't do much. I think they do. I think they play a big enough role. Lore's broken. Actually, kind of. In the Cole's mother flashback, we see a young Cole. And this may be the last time he ever spoke to his mom, but in the Season 8 flashback, we see an older Cole. So did Cole just age up that much in a few months or a few weeks? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure with explanation this could be resolved, but for now, I'm going to check it off. And in the last video, I said the trolls and goblins are definitely part of the Skull Sorcerer's army. Very, very wrong about that. So yeah, I feel kind of dumb. And the Mino creature wasn't a robot. So now we're going to put checks on the stuff that I didn't cross off. So if something was correct and I didn't cross it off, then I'm going to give it a check. So I said there were no filler episodes, and I was right about that. I also said Garmadon wouldn't return, and I was right. Green Skull plays a huge role. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't check that off. I was right about the board game parody episode. Season won't come out before August. I was right not to check that off because it did come out before August. No Dark Island Trilogy reference. And the Goblins and Trolls are not part of the Skull Sorcerer's army. So this is our final board. Notice we came very close to getting bingo. If we had only checked off that Green Skull one right here, if we had checked that one off, then we would have gotten bingo. Unfortunately, though, we didn't. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a yellow check on stuff that ended up being true, but that I didn't mark. So starting off with this Legacy Bounty one, this did happen with the Legacy Bounty, but I didn't check it off. Also, you got the Green Skull, and the Goblins and Trolls. So, yeah, unfortunately, I did not get bingo, but if I had checked off this one right here, we could have gotten that bingo there. But we came pretty close, and yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.